Are we okay? We got to fucking... We've got to do the fucking shit that we for fucking drug abuse. No! Are you listening?
This video may be cursed. I've tried to make it so many times, but it always airs out. Someone pulls up next to me with bass that's rattling my entire car. Anyway, moving on. We're going to talk about why things hold Lorne back and why things hold us back. And what I tell my friends when they ask me, why am I not excelling? Why am I not moving forward at the pace that I want? I always use this comparison, metaphor, analogy, whatever. I tell them they're on a ship of their own making, they've constructed. And the water that they're on can be choppy or smooth, and we're going to call that life. The reason they're just not coasting to the destination that they want is because along the way they've dropped a whole bunch of anchors off. Small, large, medium size. They can be anything from trust. They can be anything from trust to embarrassment to fear. Things you've done to other people, things they've done to you. Bad relationships, bad experience, traumatic experiences, childhood trauma. All of that. And some of those anchors are pretty big, and you're going to need help to pull them up. And it's not easy to find the right help. And of course, Lorne, he has no help. He's on a little dinghy, no pun intended, that's capsized. And those anchors are so big. But what makes Lorne so unique in the worst way is he's detached from reality. So he thinks he's going to get off probation. We've heard him say that. He told Jamie Amy, well, you may not think that. Lorne can never accept what he did, never will admit that he did what he did in its entirety. He never meant to go there. But his anchors are so big. So Lorne believes the reason he's on probation is because of NBC and the sting and a whole bunch of other mitigating factors that for some reason he believes are real. So those anchors, he can't yank them up because he doesn't even know what they are. That's why he's so unique in the worst way. Things are dragging him down that he refuses to accept. Now the rest of us, we know. I had a bad experience with a woman. Now I can either reach down and yank that anchor up, that son of a bitch up, and I can try to move in the direction that I want. Even if they're baby steps, just move. Get up and frickin' move. Let the water rock you around a bit. Feel it. Go through it. But Lorne, he can't. Because he doesn't know what those anchors are. Now, he creates a lot of the anchors himself. Let's go to Ramona. The doctor, boom, huge anchor. Could never get past it. And he blamed it on my past. He blamed it on his past, which is an entirely different anchor that doesn't even really exist, but yet somehow holds his boat in place, his little dinghy. Whenever he would call, hey, sorry for being a dink last night, and try his little kid voice, oh, it's creepy. It wouldn't be long before, oh God, I should be going off on the doctor. You got that damn doctor there. And he starts going off on the doctor again. He can never move forward in that relationship. He would have to accept it. I want to scream at him sometimes, Lorne, you either have to accept that there are going to be other men and these women in their life, or you need to go away. You tell me go away? Oh shit. Or you need to go away. Because you can't do that to people. You can't force them to be around only who you want them to be around. And you want it to be monitored. And you want to monitor what they say. And you want them on the phone so they can tell that guy, I don't want you. Good God. Ladies, men, imagine you have a friend of the opposite sex and your significant other wants them on the phone with you. For no reason, you just hit him up out of the blue. Hey, can you get on this phone call real quick? Okay, honey, now that you got him on there, I want you to tell him you don't want them. That friendship would be over. But he doesn't understand it. So he creates all these bullshit anchors himself. Another anchor is substance abuse. He created that. And that held him back for so long. And I told you he's going to be back on the sauce soon enough. He created that. So his boat is stuck in place again. He's in a creek. The rest of us were in the ocean. He hasn't even made it out there yet. I mean, the dude's failure to launch. We discussed that in another video. Probation is supposed to be the people helping him pull those things up that are dragging across the floor, and in most cases locked in place, rusted, because they've been there for so long. They're the ones that are supposed to be helping him. But it's almost like he's swatting their hand away and putting more weight on it. The more they try to help, the more he sees it as they are trying to hurt and hold him down. The substance abuse, he probably thinks that drinking is not his problem. He may say, oh, I know, but drinking was my problem. But that's not true. If he could, he'd be blackout drunk again. Think about the voicemail to Debbie. I really need to talk to you on the phone, because I messed up last night. And he starts telling her that at least I didn't drink and drive last night. I'm changing, it's just calm and slow. And he's asking her to be patient with him. Lorne, you don't understand that your problem is not just drinking and driving. It is drinking. So you may be able to yank on the anchor, what's weighing you down, but it's not going to move. Because all you think is, well, I didn't drink and drive, so that's good. Lorne, you didn't drink and drive, and I believe this, because you didn't leave your trailer because you couldn't. You didn't have any gas, or you didn't have a vehicle. Or you were blackout drunk in Tony's front yard. His wife was just like, fuck it, leave him there. Should we take him a blanket? No, don't take him a blanket. That's the scenario I see in my head. So again, on a capsized dinghy with no one to help him, no, not even a lighthouse, dude. Probation can't even be a lighthouse in the distance because he can't see it. I picture this. He's got a self-made fog all around him, around the trailer of failure, so he can't see out of that little bitty society we talked about, which is nothing more than his yard and his trailer and his dogs, which we know probably want to be the hell out of there. He can't even see a lighthouse. He won't even reach out. He won't even reach, or at least go towards the help. He is content, and I have never seen this before in a human being. He is content to float in the same place on a sinking, capsized dinghy for the rest of his life until it absolutely goes under and he goes down with the ship. And he would blame all of that on somebody else. Well, they put the hole in there. They put the hole in there right from the fucking beginning. Because that's how his brain works. I have my own anchors. And I know I have them. And as I'm heading towards where I want to go, there are things that try to stop me. They try to hook. And they don't want to let me go forward. And unless I recognize them and reason it out, because let's be real, some of them are in place for your defense. You've given money to someone, and not only did they use it for something they weren't supposed to be using it for, but they came back to you soon after and asked you for more money. And then when you didn't give them that money, they got mad at you. They got angry because they just assumed you would be giving them that money. So you caused that problem by being charitable. I was told, if you ever let somebody borrow money, just don't expect it back. Never let someone borrow money and expect it back. Because most of the time, you're not going to get it. A Lannister always pays his debts. I always pay my debts. And Lorne never would. He probably owes his mom $100,000. I don't know. The point I was making is that we have to identify them. And I know this isn't the best analogy, metaphor, whatever you want to call it. I know it's not. But if you think about it in its simplicity, that you are a boat, you are not controlling the seas. They are controlling you. You are just trying to navigate it. You're trying to If you try to barrel through this shit, you're going to crash. If you go too slow, you're going to capsize. You have to find that happy medium. And Lorne, he moves so slow, he could probably step off his little bitty dinghy and hit the pier, like Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, where it goes underneath, boom, he steps right up onto the pier. It sinks. You could hand Lorne a cruise liner, and it would be underwater in a day. Lorne would be one of those billionaires. You give him $1 billion, he'd be more in debt than before, than he was before you gave him that $1 billion. That's just the type of person he is. So unless he gets help, unless someone helps him flip his little boat over and identify all of those things that he's put in place that are holding him back, keeping him in place, he'll never make anything out of his life. Ever. And a lot of those, see, for us, they're experiences, legitimate things that have happened and that affect us. We subconsciously put them there. Lorne, he makes shit up. He consciously puts those there because he starts to believe his bullshit lies. Because of isolation, denial, a little bit of narcissism in here, psychopathy. Just throw that all together. I've never seen a man try to sabotage himself more than Lorne Armstrong has. I believe he's 87 and possibly slow. Just coming slow. He is slow. His big fat tongue, I do know that. The dude can't even speak. And he probably is like the last descendant of the Neanderthals. He's built like one, he talks like one, he makes decisions like one. I hope this made some kind of sense. I'm going to leave you with the story. Now, you can go back and find all of Lorne's yearbooks because they're in the library. I was adopted. The first time I ever saw my biological father, or who was supposed to be my biological father, was when I went to the city that he grew up in, and I found those yearbooks because they keep them for historical records, at least most of them do, and you can go check those out. He was never on the basketball team. He was never a star. There were never any pictures of him. His name wasn't even mentioned on any sport, not even in FFA. I think it's the Future Farmers of America or whatever that was. It was like he didn't exist. The only proof that he existed was his school photo. In gym, Lorne would go around and bug everybody. You know, he wasn't on the basketball team. He wasn't hanging out with the cool kids. And there was one particular girl he was bugging the living shit out of one day. So she went over, as most women do, and they find the biggest guy there, or a group of big guys, football players, basketball players, and you kind of want to blend in because you just want him to go away. But you tell him to go away, did it again. But he wouldn't. So finally, Lorne, he's mulling around looking for groups to talk to, and I wonder, right now, I wonder if this is why he constantly sends dick pics and needs constant, reassurance that his penis is going to be enough. In some cities, it's called flooring. In some cities, it's called pantsing. Lorne didn't just get pantsed, which is when you go up to your friend, you kind of yank their pants to their knees. It's funny, and they pull it up real quick. Nowadays, sexual harassment suit and an investigation. But Lorne, he didn't just get pantsed, he got underwear. They yanked it all the way down to his ankles. And there he is, completely naked from the waist down with that weird Yeti body where his butt and his back meet. People are laughing, and they're laughing because it's something embarrassing to a guy who's annoying. But I'm sure in his head he thought they were staring directly at that little bitty crooked broken dink that he has. And I'm wondering if maybe that's why he was constantly naked, other than the fact that he's a disgusting, he's so gross. If he constantly needed her to look at it, he wanted her to see it, because she was a middle school girl that was looking at it and wasn't laughing. Or maybe just maybe, he just wanted someone to look at it, and she was young enough where maybe she hadn't seen real ones, or hadn't seen any at all except for his. She wouldn't have anything to gauge it by. But later on in life, is this going to be big enough for you? Will this work for you? It'd be much bigger and harder if you were here. He's wanting everyone to see it. And I'm wondering if this is why. Because he was laughed at in middle school. And if that's true, that's proof that a childhood, because whether Lorne wanted to admit it or not, Kayla was a child, childhood trauma can stay with you your entire life. Lorne, that could have been a huge deal for him. They may have teased him about it forever. I don't know. But that is something that happened to him. Anyway, that's my video for today. Probably didn't make any sense, but you know what? It's Friday and I'm tired. I just wanted to put something out for you guys. I love you. I will see you in the next one.